We have all seen those stories and videos by journalists claiming to prove it's easier to get a gun than a cup of coffee. The Now This video I debunked a couple months ago was a perfect example. But here's a new one. A writer for Business Insider went to Walmart and tried to do exactly that, except she failed the background check, perfectly disproving her point. Normally, a story of a big box retailer following federal law and using the background check system as required shouldn't be that big of a deal. After all, it happens every day with every gun sale. In fact, it's already happened over 15 million times this year, according to the FBI. But when a reporter goes in with bad intentions and fails, well, that should be a national headline. According to writer Haley Peterson, it all started with a protest by Walmart employees after the shooting at the El Paso Walmart. In the wake of the shooting, a whopping 30 of Walmart's 1.4 million employees staged a walkout in order to protest the company's gun sales. The organizer, Thomas Marshall, also started up a petition to ask the company to stop all firearms and ammo sales. He blamed Walmart itself for the shooting, failing to take into account that the store was a gun-free zone and that it's no one's fault but the shooter. The petition, which now has nearly 140,000 signatures, was sent to Walmart's CEO and also called for every store to be made into a gun-free zone. Peterson, who covered all of these stories in zealous detail, then decided to take it upon herself to research how easy it is to buy a gun at Walmart, and to prove that the guns are not only marketed up the wazoo, but that they aren't properly secured, making stealing a rifle from Walmart just about as easy as buying one. Needless to say, things didn't go quite as planned. Peterson was surprised to learn that out of Walmart's 4,700 U.S. locations, only about half of them sell guns, and that they only sell pistols in Alaska. Oh, well, at least they did when I first recorded this video. Obviously, a few things have changed. That didn't deter her, so she turned to Google to try and buy a gun from Walmart's website. But those were only air guns. Imagine that. So then she picked up the phone, called each of her 10 local Walmarts, trying to find someone who could tell her which store could sell her a gun. That attempt also batted zero and chewed up several hours. In fact, it was so hard for her to find a Walmart that sold guns that she complained to the store's media relations team, who then directed her to the ATF website instead. She finally found a supercenter about 30 minutes out, and in her revealing, brave, and groundbreaking report, complained that she had to walk by toys, bikes, and school supplies to find the sporting goods, as if never before has a store that sold one thing happened to sell it next to another unrelated thing. I mean, who would have thought that Walmart would sell two-wheeled death machines responsible for more childhood deaths than firearms in the same store as guns? Someone should really be calling their manager. Karen. She also noted that, shockingly, Walmart has a much smaller selection than actual FFLs and seemed unhappy that they were locked securely behind the counter. The only guns behind the counter were a few hunting rifles and shotguns. The only thing that she could find out and about on the shelves were BB guns, which are super assaulty. She goes on in her report to note that Walmart's policies are actually much stricter than federal law. For example, they only sell to people aged 21 and up, videotape the sales, and secure guns with trigger locks and zip ties even inside their locked cases. She seems disappointed by this somehow, and seems equally disappointed to report that, despite all the social media mobs frothing at the mouth, this school hero gun ad that has resurfaced again was a hoax. Womp womp. In fact, she couldn't find a single sign or advertisement for the guns in the entire store. So her theory that Walmart not only sells guns, but pushes them onto customers like a back alley drug dealer also was wrong. To make up for it, she was sure to include over half a dozen pictures of the same ominous gun counter. Whew, scary. The plot thickened when the manager showed up and told Peterson that she couldn't buy a gun because there were no authorized sellers on the clock that day. She'd have to go home and try again in another 2 days. On her second attempt, Walmart charged her $2 for a background check, which she promptly failed because the address on her license and her home address didn't match. She was informed she'd need a government-issued document with the correct address and was shocked. Shocked, I say.
Oh my God!
She was just as shocked to note that the 4473 had big red print telling her that it was a crime if she lied. Foiled again. Her conclusion is what any gun owner will tell you. If I were actually in the market for a rifle, I would have gone to a local gun shop instead after about 5 minutes of trying to figure out which Walmart stores sold guns. Finally, she admits, overall, the experience left me with the impression that buying a gun at Walmart is more complicated than I expected, and that Walmart takes gun sales and security pretty seriously. She was probably expecting to make some scandalous, award-winning report about how easy it is for toothless Uncle Billy Bob to get himself a weapon of war down at the local Wally World. But it turns out that her experience supported what Walmart has said in the past about their gun sales, that they don't exactly corner the market, but that when they do sell firearms, they follow all the laws. That doesn't do much to support the narrative, though, so her report mostly went quick and quiet through the night, flying under the radar as an unexhilarating flop. It turns out that all the anti-gun politicians and lobbyists were lying all along. There are, in fact, gun laws in place, and gun retailers tend to take those laws very seriously. Though I do need to commend her and Business Insider for reporting it anyway. They could have chosen to just table it when it didn't turn out to be an easy outrage piece. Maybe next time she'll just try and bypass the laws and instead opt to just buy a gun online. Wink, wink. As always, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, ring that notification bell, and if you want to help support the channel in other ways, you can do so over at Patreon or Subscribestar, or a one-time donation through PayPal. You can also check out any of the affiliate links down in the description. It's a great way to get some great products and give back to the channel. And if you want even more Liberty Doll, and who doesn't want that, you can find audio-only versions of all episodes on all major podcast platforms, and find me on pretty much every social media platform. Until next time, thanks for watching, stay safe, and happy shooting!